Welcome everyone to the Garage After Dark. Welcome to our WrestleMania review. How's everyone doing tonight?
Woo, tired, my man, but I'm ready to talk about some WrestleMania.
It's been a long day of drinking.
All right, let's hit our intro.
Well, wake up, everybody. Your night is not done. This is your WrestleMania After Dark special edition of the Garage, our usual Saturday night threesome, but we have an extra tonight because we are partying. It's WrestleMania, so we need to have an extra person. It's no longer a threesome, it's a four-way. But you guys know who I am. I am the effing expert. I'm the host of this damn thing. I'm Mr. Isaacs.
And I'm, of course, I'm the founder of Effin' Wrestling. I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Ken Effin' Dry, damn it.
Ooh.
And little you guys know that is Shane's garage in the intro. He shot that.
I was going to literally say I recognized that car for a second, but then I forgot that comment. I got distracted.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that. That was a nice little Easter egg there that I didn't know a week past Easter, mind you. You should have gave me this on Easter, and you should have colored it pink first. Okay.
I'll try better next Easter.
All right. Well, we got a couple of gentlemen joining us here. As we mentioned before, I will start with our usual triad member, the guy we usually do threesomes with every Saturday night here on YouTube. Go ahead and
He's good at threesomes. He's good at threesomes.
He's very good.
It's me.
It's the beer. That's what it is.
It's your EVP. I'm going to be honest. I am surprised we are on air right now. Like, I didn't think we'd be getting on for at least another 15, 20 minutes to pace that main event was going. So,
yeah.
I was definitely expecting a midnight start time for sure.
Yeah, so was I.
And we got one other gentleman here with us, a special guest, if you will, down below me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
Once again, thanks a lot for having me, gentlemen. The closer, the Shane Outlaw Experience, Mr. Slash Showtime. Once again, on a terrific Saturday WrestleMania night, and I got a good pitch going. What a marathon.
Now, if you haven't met Shane on one of the shows or talked to him on the shows, he's like one of our newest prominent members here at wrestling. He's pretty much he's burrowed his way into our hearts. He's like one of those little mind worms, right?
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say burrowing sounds kind of like nefarious. Like, is he like? Is this like a tapeworm that's gonna like eat our brain or something?
You don't know what Shane
sounds unwanted is what it sounds like.
You know what's funny is that
as long as I'm not coming from the back hole, I'll take any other hole.
You know what's funny is that Caleb is taken to wanting to get back with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, like he shied away from the story, and now he's like kind of like leaning into it. Like, guys, don't forget about my storyline now.
Hey, Canada Dry, you've also forgot a shout out. You forgot your usual shout out.
Oh, thank you so much.
You ain't worthy of a shout out tonight. That's why.
Shout out to Bad Take Cade.
Yeah, he ain't worth it tonight.
He's not worthy of it.
What did Bad Take Cade do to piss
Sorry,
off
Bad
Joe?
Take Cade. You're not worthy of a shout out. We're not shouting you out, Bad Take Cade.
You got to be at least like mid Take Cade from now on to get a shout out, as long as EVP Joe is around, because he demands better than a constant bad take.
I do.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I may be getting that title tonight, so we'll see.
I don't know if you saw we were making Bill Goldberg jokes in the All Left in Wrestling chat.
Yeah, I saw that. Like during the main event, you guys were talking about Goldberg of all people.
we're like JFB is like, Bill Goldberg thought his alphabets were broken, then he realized it was Cheerios.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I will say before we get into the program, I still have the cock running on my big screen, and it's running the WrestleMania press conference. Byron Saxton's up there. They're showing some highlights. If there's anything noteworthy that I can see, even though I can't hear it because I got the monitors in my ear, I will chime in and let you know. But
that's good because I turned it off. So
you know what? I'm gonna put mine on closed captioning right now. Just take a quick glance or whatever.
Good idea.
We got you. We got you ass covered.
Here's what's going to say. Triple H, greatest night ever, biggest gate, biggest attendance, blah blah blah. Same shit really says for every paper.
Also, AEW sucks.
We brought some Philadelphia Eagles out there for everybody.
This was a great show. Stay tuned for tomorrow.
This was clearly the WrestleMania of WrestleManias. Night one. I just used my cerebral assassin mind and I got it done.
We just went out there and we just did our thing, and we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Spoiler alert. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get on into the program. The nitty-gritty of why we are here. As I look over my shoulder and see Rhea Ripley is sitting at the press conference right now. We start with match number 1. Rhea Ripley defeats Becky Lynch by pinfall. 17 minutes and 7 seconds to retain her Women's World Championship. Now, guys, what did we think of the opener here? Ripley versus Becky Lynch. And I will start with our esteemed guest, Mr. Experience himself. What do you think?
I would myself maybe give it a little bit of above average, like maybe a 3.5 to a 3.75. Like it was a good opener, but it was not the best. But at the same time, Becky was dealing with strep throat and then meanwhile, it's pretty cold in Philadelphia, so they're in tights and a cold night, and she's sick. So I couldn't expect her to have her A game as much as she probably tried, and she really wanted to try. She puts in the effort, but yeah, some of the moves kind of looked a little botchy and a little lethargic to me during the match.
Yeah, for sure. EVP Joe, what did you think of the opener?
It was a fine match, other than the fact that Rhea doesn't know how to sell an injured arm to save her life. Like that's probably my number one pet peeve. This whole story of this match was working over Rhea's arm, and she's over there using it to pick up Becky and slam her.
Yeah. I could see your point there. I saw you say it in the chat earlier, and I got to thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I will say, before we get Mr. Dry's opinion, how cool was it that Motionless in White was there doing Rhea's entrance song? I thought that was pretty cool, and I think that Rhea Ripley and Chris Motionless look like they could be twins. My God, they look like the same person. Like, am I wrong?
No, I will admit that. Like I thought that too, but at the same time, when they panned to Rhea in backstage when she was like stretching, like she looked like Becky for a second, like in the face. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
I wish I
Becky's
saw the updates. I was unfortunate. I'm setting up on my brand new Xbox tonight, so I was doing all the updates, and I'm like, all of a sudden I saw, oh, well, they had this big concert for her coming out tonight. I'm like, oh, crap.
Right. Cat F and Dry, what'd you think of the opening match?
Well, Becky said, I want motionless and white because she looks like me. That's why she got him. Anyways, yeah, this was an entertaining start off match. I agree with Shane. It could have been better. But it was, I would say it wasn't a bad match. It was serviceable, but it's not going to win anyone over.
Yeah. So here are my thoughts first about the motionless and white connection here. My understanding is that's Rhea Ripley's favorite band, and she really wanted them to do her theme song, and she kind of modeled her goth look literally after Chris Motionless. Like that's what I've seen online. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard her say it, but I've seen that mentioned over the past couple of years. So kind of a cool moment. As far as the match goes, I thought it was all right. It was pretty good for what it was. You know, it was obvious. It was blatantly obvious that Becky wasn't 100%. But kudos to her. I mean, she worked her ass off, even though she was kind of like falling short on some spots and things like that. The amount of fatigue and everything she probably had to fight through, being on antibiotics and probably still having the flu, that having a fever and everything, like hats off to her. Because I mean, there's not many people that could do that. When she took that electric chair on the outside and smacked her head on the back of that made me cringe.
Yeah.
If
she would have ate her Jello before this thing, she would have won.
If she'd ate her Jello,
yes.
Please explain the connection of Jello.
Is that a knowledge is power?
Well, yeah, that is a knowledge is power. That's a good point, kids. If you want to win your big match before WrestleMania, remember to eat your Jello.
Okay. Now, I'm going to require you to explain how Jello is a performance enhancer.
Well, you see, it's got the cow hooves in it, and cows run real fast when they're running. So, you know, who can argue science?
I don't think any part of that sentence is true.
Come on, would you call me some sort of con man or something?
Cows running fast? I mean, come on.
So here's my question. What do you think is next for Rhea?
Yeah, good question.
Oh, geez.
I don't know.
They're gonna have to build someone up to face her.
I don't see anybody viable in the Raw roster right now. It seems like the women's division is stacked over at SmackDown right now as we speak.
Yeah. Like, I don't know who are the other like top tier women even on Raw.
There's not even anyone in NXT that you can call up, really.
But you know what? They did say there's supposed to be the draft coming soon. So
yeah. I forgot about that. They usually do that shortly after Mania.
The draft where it doesn't matter because everyone still shows up on both shows anyway.
Yeah. It might be something really crazy.
Shake things up a little.
Maybe they might even already do a Jay Cargill.
Possibly.
Good Lord, no.
I don't know. But I mean, you never know. They might just do something stupid and jump the gun like that.
I mean, they've done
probably
her
will.
Bianca.
Please don't.
Unless they do that again. I don't know. They're either gonna have to, like, you know, turn somebody babyface that's a heel, you know, like Asuka or someone like that. I don't know what they're gonna do here. But that is a very interesting question, and it's one that I do think will be addressed when they do the next draft. So, all right, moving on. We've got the tag team title ladder match. Now, I said earlier on Magic of Wrestling that I thought that what they were probably going to do was set the Raw titles on one side of the ring, the SmackDown titles on the other side of the ring, and that's exactly what they did. Which I didn't realize until, you know, literally we were talking about it on the show that all the titles were going to be separated, but they were all going to be up for play here. which is very strange, but it's their way of splitting the title, so it makes total sense. But we've got Grayson Waller and Austin Theory winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and Awesome Truth wins the Raw Tag Team Championships. And this match went a whopping 17 minutes and 36 seconds. Now, Candidate F and Dry, I will start with you this time. What did you think of the tag team ladder match?
The tag team ladder match, you put tag teams in a ladder match, you're gonna have a fun match. There were some really good high spots in this, particularly after Grayson Waller and Austin Theory won those tag titles. He got slammed into the ladder.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good shot. But yeah, this was really cool. Seeing R-Truth get gold, probably the last gold of his career. Can't see him win anything other than this.
It's got to be. Yeah.
This was decent. I enjoyed this. So it was I like this better than the Becky match. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get my thoughts next. I agree with you. I think this was a fun match. This was, and I know I've described it like this before, but every time they have one of these TLC style matches that they have on every big pay-per-view now, and even AEW started doing it, I call them the clusterfuck tag ladder matches, because that's basically what they are. It's just chaos, it's spots, it's people going through tables and people doing flips and dives, but it's fun though. It's chaos and it's fun. And I thought it was a pretty good match. I did also like it better than Rhea versus Becky. And, I thought it was cool that Awesome Truth won. I'm not so sure about Waller and Theory winning, but, we'll see. I guess they had to have at least a heel team win and then a babyface team win the other to kind of counterbalance a little bit. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. EVP Joe, what did you think?
I absolutely enjoyed this match. I'm glad that the Miz and R-Truth won, because Truth finally gets his moment, his WrestleMania moment. It's hard to believe he's been around for as long as he has. It hasn't had one.
Yeah.
A-Town Down Under winning was very anticlimactic to me.
They didn't even get their entrance
nowhere.
play.
There was no adversity to it. They just climbed up the ladder and grabbed them. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I very much look forward to them versus New Catch Republic, because I think that's going to be the first big program coming out of this, which will be fun, because I love New Catch Republic. Those guys are great.
Yeah. Did you like the return of Consequences Creed?
Oh, absolutely. I loved it. I made the joke that he didn't even have to have the gear made. He, like you said, he just went up to his attic and grabbed his TNA Consequences Creed outfit.
Now, was he actually called Consequences Creed?
No, he wasn't called that. But that's how he. If you watch TNA, like when I was in college, I remember this. This was in like the late 07, 08. I was in my dorm room watching TNA, and they were running like promos for this new guy, Consequences Creed. And that's where he got his start. He wore he had the puffed out hair and a big afro, and he wore the American flag pants.
It was like Apollo Creed kind of a rip-off.
Yeah, it was an Apollo Creed thing.
Hey, Jeremy.
Why are you cutting me off? What?
Your mom goes to college.
Jesus.
But what's even better is that Consequences Creed was with R-Truth, and their tag team was Truth or Consequences.
Yes, right. That is right. I kind of forgot about that, but yeah.
Yep.
Shane, what'd you think of this match, buddy?
I loved it. It was a great ladder match. I'm not going to say it was the best tag team ladder match of all time, because that would usually involve the Young Bucks. Shout out to you, Haney. But
Jesus.
Anyway, it was so the fact of A-Town and Wallace, the way they won the tag titles, they didn't even get to have their entrance song played or anything, or even get to really celebrate for a second. It was just like, oh, titles, they announce it, but then it was like, oh, we better get back in action. I knew they were going to have the titles separated. I didn't think it was going to be that. I thought they were at least going to be close enough so you could reach from the middle, but that was a pretty good gap. I like the fact that they kept those tag titles that far separated. Just to
what
make
I would have done? I would have rang the bell, and they got to leave with their belts now. That way they get to celebrate. and then you restart the match.
Yeah, but then they gave them the opportunity to be the undisputed tag titles champs after.
But you know,
I know. But
then it would give them their moment.
it was
Uh,
once again R-Truth having his comedic moments, standing in the corner waiting for the hot tag. That was beautiful. I even typed the chat. I'm like laughing. I'm like, yeah, we knew we needed an R-Truth moment tonight, and that was a really great one right
And
there.
when he pinned Finn Balor.
yeah.
Finn Balor counted to 3 on his own.
Yeah,
You know,
that was great.
I typically hate comedy like this in wrestling, but I love R-Truth.
Yeah, the way R-Truth does it is
funny,
perfect.
though. Like he's like the only kind of sticky kind of comedy type guy that I like. Like
It's
I
because
literally don't like any of the others.
It's because it doesn't feel forced with Truth. It's very natural.
It is
Exactly.
exactly. Like I couldn't stand Santino Marella. I couldn't stand that gimmick. I fucking hated it. But I love R-Truth because it just feels more authentic. It's not as put on. I like it.
You're saying you didn't like the unibrow on Santino Marella?
No. I didn't like Santino, the whole shtick, the Cobra,
You didn't like the Cobra?
strut. Oh God, I hated that shit. It was terrible. Terrible.
It was.
He was an actually legit good wrestler, and he could actually do good legit wrestling, but he got stuck doing that shit.
Yeah, he was a shoot wrestler. Yeah. He had like actual, like, I think he runs a judo gym, if I'm not mistaken. He's like an actual credentialed grappler.
It's no different than Nick Dinsmore, man. That guy was actually a really great wrestler, but you get stuck with a character like Eugene.
He was like the OVW heavyweight champion, like most of the time he was there. Yeah.
And he's a great trainer. He's been known as a great trainer for years. Like he's got a great wrestling mind.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But moving on here, we've got Rey Mysterio and Andrade defeats Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio in 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, I will say before we get into our reviews, we did have an appearance by Jason Kelsey and the other Eagle. I can't remember what they said his name was.
Lane Johnson.
They came out in Philadelphia Eagles lucha masks that they just happened to be standing by with masks on in case one of the bastard heels tried to do something illegal and
then
jumped
they
out,
did illegal stuff themselves.
did illegal stuff themselves, assaulted poor Dominic, and Rey and Andrade get the win. Interesting stuff. Shane, I'll start with you this time. What do you think of this match?
Jason Kelsey has more in that exact style Rey Mysterio mask, but in Chiefs when he was going celebrating for his brother when his brother was on the AFC Championship before the Super Bowl. I remember him wearing that mask or whatever. But
right,
it was another one of those fun matches. The moment you saw all the other guys that weren't supposed to be in the match in their gear, it's like, oh yeah, they're getting involved one way or the other. So it was, but I mean, I give it it was an average match. It was a fun match, but it's not your great technical tag team match. But the one surprise that I was shocked that I thought Carlito was going to do the screw job. I thought, or Andrade was going to do a screw job. Like I thought one of those two were going to, but the fact that both those guys, everybody all got along, and then it's like, now what? LWO's got like what, 20 members now? It's starting to look like they're starting to look at the WCW version of LWO.
I'm with you, Shane. I thought that what was going to happen was that it was going to be revealed that either Andrade or Carlito was the one who attacked Dragon Lee, and then ended up turning on Rey. One of those two. That's what I thought was going to happen too, but of course it didn't.
I really didn't see an Andrade face turn. Like it wasn't even like a prepared face turn. It's just like, oh, we're good at putting with faces now, and he's not screwing anybody over.
It's just like out of nowhere. It's very strange. Andrade, what'd you think?
Oh, real quick.
The Selena connection. I get the Selena connection. Oh, there's that. So,
EVP, what'd you want to say, brother?
I was going to say real quick. At least this LWO, unlike WCW, isn't coming out on lawnmowers.
Next rules. Yeah, I think this was it was a great match for Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't a WrestleMania match.
Right.
It had absolutely no WrestleMania match feel. At best, a Saturday night main event feel, maybe, but it was not a WrestleMania match. It did nothing for me. It was good for a SmackDown match, but it was not a WrestleMania match.
I could see
Maybe
that.
an NXT takeover pay-per-view at best.
Oh, that wasn't even takeover quality. The only thing that kind of seemed WrestleMania like was the Eagles interference, because there's always got to be celebrity involvement in some kind of WrestleMania shit.
And it's usually an NFL player these days, apparently.
It could be it's an NFL player or an actor, if they're in like Hollywood or something, yada yada. We've seen this a million times. EVP, what'd you think?
It was fine. I agree with Canada Dry. I don't know why this was on the card. The match changed so many times, like it just wasn't really invested in it. And like I said, I was expecting some shenanigans from someone other than the Eagles players, but yeah, like there was nothing that to me that screamed WrestleMania in this match.
Yeah. I feel like they really struggle to get as many worthy people a part of WrestleMania as possible. And in exchange, they sacrifice quality.
That's what happens when you got to put a 2-night card on. That's exactly what you're gonna run into these problems when you got to fill 2 shows. And what was that tonight? 4 hours or almost?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it was only 4 hours.
But what I think they should have done is I think that Dominic should have just focused on being in the corner of Rhea in her match. And I think this should have just been Santos Escobar against Rey Mysterio 1-on-1.
Yes, get the final revenge for.
I think that would have been better.
That would have made more sense. It would have. Yeah.
Or Dom could have been in his corner. Say screw you, Dad.
Like,
yeah, that could have worked too. Yeah.
Like, honestly, this should have just been LWO versus LDF. Like, that's the story they've been telling for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, the adding to Dom is just like, why is he there?
What about that big leap?
Ain't no Andrade too.
Would y'all think of the big leap from Wild?
It would have been cooler if they hadn't done it before.
No, I don't. You know what?
Like they said, they're saying like he's having his Mania moment, but I'm like, we've seen this on SmackDown.
Yeah,
like they should have saved this for WrestleMania.
Yeah, the guy's got a hell of a jump.
Oh hell yeah, it was awesome.
Once everybody started fighting towards the ramp, I'm like, oh yeah, that spot's coming any second now. And then sure enough, and they make it so obvious it's coming too.
I can't help anytime I see Joaquin Wild, I just think about that old DJ Zima Ion gimmick he had in TNA.
Yeah.
where he would
like
make the little stupid DJ noise go off.
Caleb wants you to know, Shane, but he still loves you.
All right. Any reaction,
no
Shane?
No outback for him.
Well, you bet he's got to push it in your stool.
Oh, Jesus. Ayo.
That's his thing that he pushes things. He didn't push in my stool.
Yeah.
I still heard that Caleb was supposed to take his ex to Pound Town.
Oh, God.
Yes, that is a UK dollar store, actually.
All the way to the UK, baby.
Do you think Liam shops there?
Definitely.
You know, Liam goes to Pound Town every week.
I go there and get my tea and crumpets. I better not do a Liam voice.
We don't need a rehash of what happened a few weeks ago on the Magic of Wrestling, where you two got into it over impressions. Okay.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm not doing a Liam impression anymore. I don't want him getting upset with me. All right.
Yes, that was. We were doing it on. Hey, look at on Liam. Hey, look at me.
Liam, I love you, pal. When you watch this back, all right? I wasn't making fun of you.
Gotta put that quarter in the machine.
Oh, God. All right. Next matchup, we got Jey Uso defeating Jimmy Uso in 11 minutes and 13 seconds. I'll go first with my thoughts on this one as Shane gets set back up here. For me, this match fell a little flat for me, dog. Like, I don't know what happened here. Like, this just, like, I was expecting this match to be a lot more of a grudge match, a lot more hard hitting,
Yeah.
a lot more shouting back and forth and taunting each other and, like, destroying shit around the ring. Like, I was just expecting this to be more of like a blood feud type match. And it was just kind of a slow, regular match. It just, I don't know. This is very anticlimactic to me. It just fell flat for me, dog. I don't know. EVP, what'd you think of this match?
I completely agree with you. Now, I am very much guilty of saying that WWE doesn't do enough wrestling in their TV shows. But in this case, like, this should have been more storytell driven than anything. Like, this should have been this generation's "I'm sorry, I love you" moment with Shawn and Flair. The emotion, and I didn't feel it. Like, once again, this is another SmackDown match. It's all this was. There wasn't no WrestleMania moment. There wasn't no. I didn't feel conflicted. Like, there was. It just fell flat.
Yeah. Shane, what'd you think?
Yeah, I actually will have to say this was a below average match for the hype and what you were expecting out of that match. It's like, what were these guys sick or something? Like, no, it was really like, and then the whole Jimmy doing the I'm sorry, that was such an obvious spot coming from a mile away. I'm like, it didn't even need to be done because it was just like you saw it coming.
I know.
They should have played on that more, is what they should have done.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's too short.
That spot would have made more sense if, like, Jay had beaten him to the point to where he was bloodied and was like barely getting up, and then I think they could have pulled that off.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
not the way they did it.
Yeah, I have a feeling they might have been also told to rush the match too, because that's what it kind of like. Yeah, only 11-minute match for a match that should have really had a true storytell when you have two twins facing off with the history those said twins have done in the last, decade, but I mean just specifically the last few years with the whole bloodline.
Yeah.
No, this was a very disappointing payoff. That's the way I should say it.
With all that said, that video package before the match, top tier. I absolutely love that video package.
Absolutely, I agree. Canada, what'd you think?
I think that I disagree with EVP that it wasn't really a SmackDown match. I think it's more of a Raw match.
No.
I think that that whole intro before, not only was it really good, it was almost as long as the match. The whole intros for this whole thing, them coming to the ring, was almost as long as the match. Like, you're telling me this guy screwed you out of the world title. This guy screwed you out of the Intercontinental title.
The U.S. title.
What?
The U.S. title and tag titles. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this has been going on like a year.
You're going to get an 11-minute match for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very weird.
I don't think it's Jimmy and Jay's fault. They were given 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do in 11 minutes to finish off the feud?
See, then we could have there's a point where we're kind of talking with the last match. There's matches they could have just gone without that, and they could have gone without that Ray match and stuff like that, and they give Jimmy and Jay a 30-minute match. Or
even a 20-minute match would have been enough to tell the story.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is, like I said, is that video package beforehand, I think set a really high bar, high expectation, and it couldn't meet it.
Absolutely.
Video package and give it to the match. You could do a lot more.
And then there was
you cut a few of these video packages down, and you get more wrestling. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
that's one thing I think. I find the video package are getting a little outrageously long with every WrestleMania.
So,
they fumbled the bag on this match, that's for sure.
What do we think of Lil Wayne's greatest rapper ever entrance?
Yeah, when they said, like, look, Lil Wayne's cool and all. I like some of his stuff.
Yeah, me
But the
too.
guy is not anywhere near the greatest rapper ever. I mean, come on.
I didn't even understand him when he was first rapping there. I was like, what's
Neither
he
did I. I
saying?
couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah, that was a pretty crappy setup. Live sing along entrance.
Like honestly, when they said greatest rapper alive, I was like, okay, my mind automatically goes back to the 90s, like Dr. Dre, Eminem, stuff like that. Those are superior rappers in my mind.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. I mean, like I said, he's all right. He's just not the greatest rapper ever. No, he's eight. As the kids say. I guess probably not the kids. Dorky millennials like me. So. All right. Next match, we got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi defeating Damage Control in 9 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, I'll go ahead and start with my opinion on this. I kind of thought this was mostly dog shit. Like, this was not a very good match. It was honestly, I kind of think this was just a way to showcase Jade Cargill.
And it wasn't very good at doing that.
Because I mean, she looked amazing. She looked amazing, but as a match, it's just this match and the last match really lost my focus, and I had to really kind of focus hard after that. But we'll get to that. I was not a big fan of this. I didn't think this was very good. Shane, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a terrible match, and especially for a 9-minute match, you had Naomi probably laying in the match for 1/3 of that match, or laying on the outside for. So, no, it was pretty terrible. I was not, and this was a match where I didn't have high expectations, so I can't be shocked that it was horrible. Unlike Jimmy versus Jay, so. No, I mean, it was just exactly what I expected. That's all I could say about that. It was nothing special, and I knew it wasn't going to be special going into it.
Yeah. Noob says this match is mid.
Dakota.
It was,
and I knew Dakota was going to take the pin, but it just sucks seeing her take the pin. But maybe just because I find her pretty hot. But.
Shayna will come choke you out now. You can't be messing with her girl. But she's dating Shayna Baszler, for anybody who doesn't know that.
I didn't know that. Whoa.
Yeah.
Lucky her.
Who's dating Shayna Baszler?
Dakota Kai. They're a couple. Yeah. Yep.
Congratulations to you.
Well, they have been for a while. I think a couple years. Yeah. They do TikToks together and stuff once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I don't follow TikToks. I didn't even know.
I didn't even know they were into that.
Yeah, they're a couple. They've been together at least a couple years. They did get together with the Acclaimed. Yeah. Canada Dry, what do you think of this match?
This match was a 5-star class.
I thought you were gonna say a 5-star piece of shit.
I could have said that, but I didn't. No, but yeah. You know what would have been a better finish than what they did?
What's up?
If Jade Cargill started the match and just decimated her opponent off the bat and got a pin, just like out of nowhere.
Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think this would have been a good place because it's just like, oh, she just kicked up her ass. Like this is
I would have had to be Dakota Kai though to do that because right now you can't do that to Asuka and Kyrie, yeah, because they're the tag champs. You don't want to start burying your tag champs. So like, if they were going to do that,
I think it would have been cool to do it to her. Yeah.
Who cares? Asuka's never won at WrestleMania. What does it matter?
EVP Joe, what are your thoughts?
This match sucked. It was the best thing about this was the entrance.
Yeah,
like
the entrance was cool.
It was 9 minutes. Jade had like 3 moves and screwed 2 of them up. Like, I'm sorry.
Some things never change, unfortunately.
No, they don't. Like,
it really was like watching her old classic ECW pay-per-view matches.
Yeah.
So my only question is, I know Jade was cosplaying Storm.
Yeah.
Bianca was cosplaying Cyclops. I can't put my finger on what Naomi was.
She was like, "Oh, can I be me? I just want to be me."
I'd have to go back and check. I can't remember.
Rogue?
Like honestly, all I kept thinking was like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat because she had the big ass sombrero.
Yeah, she had the hat on, didn't she? Yeah.
Or no, sorry, Kung Lao. That's the one who used a hat and used it as a weapon.
Yeah. He would sling it so fast. It would spin at such a rate that it would cut people. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good skill to learn.
But yeah, like
Okay, so I have a really good question. So this is my spoon, and it's got a fork on the end and a knife. You see? Got a little knife right there. Now, does this count as a spork, or what is it?
I think you have a baby spork.
no, that's just confused, is what that is.
It has a fork on this and has a knife so you can cut. So technically, you got to have a knife in the word, right?
Anything I saw as an actual spork was like spoon shaped with the prongs coming halfway through it. So I
I
don't.
think
I'd
this is
say
a
that-
better invention than this fork.
I'd say that's just a
No,
that's
like,
just a
here's my
multi
question.
utensil.
See, I disagree because, like, what's the point in having a knife on your fork? How are you going to use your fork to hold something down and cut it at the same time?
And what if you
Another
like
one of these.
accidentally what if you overreach your mouth onto it and like cut your cheek?
Yeah, what if you slice your cheek open with your knife?
Oh,
I
fine.
think
It's
it's
not
less
that dark.
sharper than a butter knife.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a baby knife. Like a baby fork.
You can't even
Yeah.
see the edges on the camera.
Barely.
Oh, I could see it. It sharpened and focused for a very quick second, and I could see the ridges. Yeah.
You're not robbing any banks with one of those.
Listen, give me all your money.
Give me all your loonies. No.
And then you see a pretty girl, you're like, "Do you want a spoon?"
Rennie says that she feels like Aaron is secretly Iron Fist. I don't know what that's all about, but okay.
I think that's Iron Fist is.
It's a Marvel character, Marvel superhero.
I think
Yeah,
isn't he like
it's
the
like
sidekick of Iron Man?
The martial
No,
arts.
not at
guy.
all. Nope, totally
Oh,
different.
they're not buddies.
No, at least not that I know of.
Iron
I thought he
Fist.
was Robin.
No.
Hmm.
That's Iron Patriot or Rhodey.
War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, War Machine's like the gray Iron Man with more guns.
Oh, Iron Fist is karate, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think totally. I don't know my Marvel characters as well as my DC.
Well, there's a Netflix series of Iron Fist.
Yes,
Don't
I
watch
remember that.
Don't
That
watch it.
we.
It's not good. It's not good. Don't
It's not
watch it.
good. I never did watch it. I watched the Daredevil, and I watched
Daredevil
Jessica
was good.
Jones, but I didn't
Daredevil
watch
season 1.
Yeah.
Season
That
2.
fight scene in the hospital.
it. Yes,
Marvelous.
that's one of the greatest fight scenes I've ever seen.
I liked it when Kingpin was kicking his ass in season 1.
Yes, that was good.
That
Kingpin
was the
was badass on that show.
And then there's another good fight scene in the first season of Punisher. It's basically like the same thing as what they recreated in Daredevil, just one nonstop. It's so awesome.
I thought Punisher got cut short, but it's still great to see John Bernthal still being able to do that character in cameos. Like he was set up to do another cameo pretty soon. I saw the other day.
He's in Daredevil Reborn that's coming on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, back to Mania.
All right. We got the next match. Kind of brought my focus back in a little bit because it was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Sami Zayn defeats Gunther in 15 minutes and 40 seconds to win the Intercontinental Championship. Who wants to go first this time?
I just want to address this quickly.
Go ahead.
Is this a lie?
No, most people from Asia use chopsticks.
But you think it's a lie? You think she's telling the truth?
No
I'll give her
comment.
the benefit of the doubt, sure.
What have you, Shane? Is this a lie?
I don't know. I know my Japanese grandparents, all they usually used was chopsticks at the table, no matter what they were eating back in the day.
If you got Cheerios, are you going to use chopsticks?
No, I think they used a spoon. But see, she said fork. I never used a fork, but she never said a spoon, though.
Right.
Can you imagine eating cereal with chopsticks?
Yeah, how do you get them? Yeah. Well, I mean, they are used to slurping. They do that with the noodles, so.
Okay, Randy, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Now, Joe, did you say you wanted to go first here?
Yes, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I loved this match. It honestly for me saved the night. Like I was struggling to get through this show because it's like this is really what I think about when I think of WrestleMania. Like this had the story, it had the emotion, it had everything. And shocker, Gunther's involved in another match of the night for WrestleMania. Like it's so like he plays like he's one of those heels that's different from everybody else because he's so badass that he knows that he doesn't need to cheat. He's just there like I'm going to beat up your favorite person and I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah. I'll get my thoughts on this next. God, this match was brilliant. This was an awesome match. It was great storytelling. The chops, these two look like they were trying to fucking murder each other with chops. Like they were so vicious. Like Eddie Kingston, take notes.
Yeah, I was going to say it if you did it.
I put that in the chat. I replied to you, Mr. Isaacs. I was like, Eddie Kingston needs to take some notes.
You want to do a chop that looks like you're legitimately trying to kill somebody? Watch this match. Both of them look like they were trying to kill each other with chops.
Sammy's not known to be a chopper either.
No. But man, what a good match. Both of these guys are fantastic workers. The storytelling was great. You know, Gunther mocking Sami Zayn's wife and you know, beating him down and everything. And then Sami Zayn
the best thing about this is like it's like his hubris beat him.
Yeah. Just
the true elitist. Like he's just the elitist. That's the best way to put it with his attitude and everything.
This was the best. This was so awesome. I absolutely love this match. Canada, what do you think?
Now, it started out great. You got him in the back, and he's talking to Shorty G.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, you got this. You can do this. I'm not coming with you. And then he's heading out, and who's waiting for him? But his good buddy,
Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Kevin Owens. And I thought that was such a nice touch.
Yeah, that whole intro.
Those two things were just like it was great for the story because it built it up. Like you can do this, and then Kevin Owens reaffirms that yes, you can do this. You got this, bro. And it was very rocky. Yes, they talked about that in the match.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn plays a great underdog.
Right.
Like I love Sami Zayn as that underdog champion.
That was his gimmick in NXT. He was the underdog from the underground.
Yep.
And he does such a great job at it. This match, all props go out to Gunther for his reign and for this match and putting Sami over so well. Like it was awesome.
They did the Rocky shtick quite a bit, even when they were doing the Chad Gable vignettes. He was doing the whole "I'm afraid." Is that what you want to hear? It was like when Rocky was on the beach with Adrian. He goes, "I'm afraid." Is that what you want to hear? I'm afraid. Yeah. So.
His name's not Shorty G.
Shorty G.
Do you remember that? Like, what were they thinking?
It was at one point.
We were calling him that for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Go
real
ahead,
quick, I saw someone mention this on Facebook, and I kind of want to see it now. Now that Sammy's the IC champ, they want to see KO be US champ and recreate
I was literally I was just gonna mention. I really see tomorrow night the spoiler now. Like I didn't think Kevin Owens was gonna take that title. It's gonna be Logan Paul, but now I'm seeing it's gonna be the other way around tomorrow night with Sammy standing there with the belt, waiting for Kevin to come walking out. And this is I really want to talk about that entrance. Remind me of these old school Klitschko brothers boxing entrances where they used to actually have the cameras in the locker room right before they're walking out. The coach giving them the quick prep talk, and then they follow them all the way out to the ring to this extravagant entrance and stuff like that. Like it really had a Klitschko brothers boxing feel, like entrance, and then I'd say match of the night. I'd say the main event was
Well, we're
pretty
saving. We
great,
got it. We got the flower shop coming out at the end here.
but I'd say for me, I was a really great match. Absolutely storytelling through and through. It was like just like the Eddie Briscoe and Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston match last night. It's had the same back and forth vibe and stuff like that. So no, this was one of my favorite Mania Intercontinental matches at Mania in a long time, easily.
All right. Well, gentlemen, that brings us to the apex of the evening, the main event. We've got The Rock and Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in 44 minutes and 38 seconds. Woo!
Rock's on TV as we speak.
Okay, let me just say this. You couldn't give the Usos a little bit of that time.
At least 5 minutes of it.
Especially like you couldn't give at least like maybe a couple minutes of Rock's entrance mixed with like a couple minutes of the video package.
I agree. All right. I will start with I'll start with Shane. What'd you think of the main event?
I was surprisingly impressed how great Rock would look tonight. I really did not think with Rock's age and Rock's like time away from the ring that he was going to actually be pretty fluent and then go 45, even though it's a tag match. Well, I mean, most that good portion of that match was not tag match. It was fighting through the crowd, fighting on the floor. So it took all four guys to take part in those type of spots and stuff like that. So no, I was very impressed. It goes to show the training Rock did setting up the Callis brothers to do the MMA/wrestling training for him to get back into shape. It showed that he was. And now it looks like we're going to now have an angle with Seth Rollins with a knee injury going into tomorrow night. But yeah. I'd say that's what been the match. Sammy, Gunther, and then this was a pretty close match for favorite matches tonight on the card.
All right, so I have Lord Ryan Rich backstage. We're going to bring him in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hello, brother.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on? Man?
Now, are you just calling in for this last night, or you want to hang out for the rest of the show?
I'm just calling in to call in.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't watch a motherfucking thing tonight because Purdue played, and I've been drinking and playing racing games since then. So I just figured I'd come in and say, "Hey, what's up, Shane?"
God cheers it up, brother.
Hey, what's up, brother?
You're calling in.
I'll probably be playing racing games after this.
That's okay. You're the man. We love you.
No, I would like to give commentary. I don't know what happened, but if you tell me what happened, I'll give commentary on it.
Well, Mr. Rich, congratulations on your Boilermakers, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
I hope they beat the shit out of you, Gone. I do.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get your thoughts here. I will tell you that The Rock and Roman Reigns won the main event. So what do you think about that?
That's what I expected to happen leading into night to a Mania. I think if they don't, then there's no chance that Cody wins. So I think this was the plan going forward, and I support it.
All right. EVP Joe, what do you think of the main event?
So, thought it was extremely long, and it took a little too long for me to like get to that third, fourth gear. But once they got there, it was fantastic. I mean, it's The Rock, it's Cody, it's Seth, and even Roman. Like, they all know how to put on a great match.
Yeah.
It's just you had to sit through 25 minutes of entrances and then about 20 minutes of plodding around walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that. They should have just made this like a tornado tag match.
Yeah, it was.
I would have been more prepared for this because Like,
The fact that Rock was straightening the ref's job, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm always surprised by that, but you count out, I'll have you fired. Like, it's kind of a little ridiculous.
Hey, it's a part of the storytelling.
but yeah,
Yep.
Canada, what'd you think?
I thought like the whole thing. Obviously, I would have liked to have at least 5 minutes given to Jimmy and Jay, but I thought this was so well done. I loved everything about this last match. The Rock. Let me just say this: Bill Goldberg. He's jealous of The Rock. Like jealousy is just coming off of him towards The Rock.
I can see why.
Oh yeah, this guy for 51 years old, he looks amazing.
There's more.
Yeah, I loved every bit of this match. It was, to me, it was classic WrestleMania. It had the WrestleMania feel.
Yeah.
To me, it's one of the premier tag teams WrestleMania of all time. Like,
Yeah.
So,
it had a great job.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Am I to believe that Awesome Truth won their match?
They got the Raw.
they are
They
the
won
Raw
one of the
tag
belts.
champions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They split the tag team titles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Awesome Truth is now the Raw tag team champions.
Oh.
And A-Town Down Under, they are the new SmackDown tag team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we got
Okay.
brands.
That's what I think of those two, though.
Yeah.
I can't stand those guys.
All right. Well, I'll give my thoughts on the main event here. I thought this was a very good match.
Yeah.
The Rock, he looks like he never stepped away from wrestling. Like the way that he sold, the execution of his moves, his timing, the way he's working the crowd, absolute top level elite professional wrestler. Like it just doesn't even look like this guy even like went anywhere. Like he's just been here the entire time. It was amazing.
You can definitely tell he really put in effort to like get into ring shape because last time he was blown up within like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
That's true.
he looked very, very good. This was so good. All four of them worked their asses off. It did go long. It did kind of get a little long in the tooth towards the end, but I thought it was very good. I thought the result was what it should be. Obviously, it's a storytelling mechanism to add suspense and intrigue to the main event tomorrow night, and I thought it was terrific. And I was a big fan. It reminded me of like the Attitude Era WrestleMania main events, where like everybody's like, "Oh, the Attitude Era was terrible," but all the main events had these big fight feels, and they're all brawling through the crowd and hitting each other with shit and stuff, and like they all just felt like a fight.
The Attitude Era,
Rock and Austin matches. That's exactly what Rock and Austin WrestleMania matches were. Was exactly what you're talking about right there.
And they were
You know what
great.
it felt like? It felt like two-man power trip.
yeah,
Two-man power
if
group.
Two-Man Power Trip had been able to be done correctly back in the day.
Yeah.
If they lasted.
All right, gentlemen. I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Take it
All
easy,
right,
man.
good night, bro.
Take care, brother.
See you.
All right. Did we all give our thoughts on the main event? I think we did.
I just got one more thing to add real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That sell by the Rock of the Spear was
Yeah.
Oh,
hilarious.
that was good.
I
That
loved
was
it.
good. Dude, in that actual time, like Seth Rollins being like, that was pretty cool spot. Seth Rollins diving, knocking Cody to have freaking Rock take that spear. That was actually a sweet spot. But
That was
one
great.
thing I will say too, though, I'm surprised that match went that long. No one at all, well, except for The Rock. Well, the rest of those guys are all involved in heavy matches tomorrow night themselves. Which
Well,
Cody and Reigns are probably going to be going almost an hour tomorrow night. That's going to probably be guaranteed.
if you thought tonight's main event was long, just wait till tomorrow night when the shenanigans ensue.
Yep. I guess my question is who do you think's going to come to the aid of Cody tomorrow night, if anybody?
Austin and Cena.
You think
Like,
they're going to pull the trigger on
I
that?
think that whole stuff with when they were fighting and then that truck where it showed
Truck.
Austin and Cena, and I'm like, that's an Easter egg for us probably, because then it's going from all the generations. You got The Rock there, Reigns, the current generation. You have then the Austin and the Cena eras, and
That'd
then
be
now
cool.
you're gonna have the Cody era, like that. Yeah,
That'd be a very cool moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine Cody and Austin and Cena standing toe to toe with Reigns, Rock, and Solo?
yeah.
Solo needs
that'd
to
be
go
kinda
away.
cool.
That guy, Solo's nothing.
But you know he's going to be heavily involved tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
You know he will be.
I really hope Cody has like an Avengers theme entrance tomorrow.
I hope Down Straight plays tomorrow. I'm actually was thinking to myself tonight. I knew they were going to did a big entrance tonight for him, but to have Down Straight actually play him out tomorrow.
I bet they'll be there tomorrow because I think they tweeted a picture of them being there or something like that. So I bet they play his entrance tomorrow night.
All right, guys. You guys want to do the flower shop? Give our flowers, our bells, our whistles. Match of the night.
Go
Video
ahead and,
game of the night.
go ahead and start us off.
Hold on. Can I make an amendment to this? Instead of segment of the night, can we do like entrance of the night? What was our favorite entrance?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we didn't really have much segments tonight at all.
Canada, I'll start with you.
My favorite match of the night. I hate to say it because it was so long, but I got to go with Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth Rollins. It just felt like a big deal.
Yeah.
My entrance of the night. I'm gonna go with The Rock.
Yeah,
The Rock's entrance is just a big deal.
Yeah.
He's the final boss. And for my video game, I'm going way back to the Sega Genesis, and I'm going with NHL 94.
All right.
The reason why is Kirk McLean, my favorite goalie as a kid, is on the cover.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
And your bell rating, sir?
Oh, my ratings for this. We got really two really good matches on this, so I'm going to give this a 3.86.
All right. I'll go ahead and go second here. To me, match of the night, I'm very torn on those last two, but I think I'm going to give it to Gunther and Sami Zayn. But I could very easily flip to give it at the main event too, because I loved both of those matches. And the entrance of the night, I'm gonna agree with Canada and say The Rock. I mean that final boss thing and the flaming Brahma bull that he was stepping in and everything, that was so cool. Very, very cool.
And he just brings the belt with him like, I'm a champion now, bitch.
Yeah, brings the belt.
I do find it funny. Everyone came out to the ring with a belt except for Cody.
I know.
Which is like,
he had the Cody belt.
Story.
He had his little plastic one.
He was like, Cody, you son of a bitch, couldn't you have at least given me a weird hat to sew on the side of my face? Seth had that big weird thing that looked like a pirate's hat sewed on the side of his head.
So weird.
Yeah, it's horrible. But favorite video game, and I'm going to keep it topical here. This might be a little bit of a cheating, but WWF WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah, it was the old WCW AKI style games, but when they flipped to the WWE and got the license for them, fantastic game. Absolutely loved it. And it's topical, and I spent a lot of time playing it, so I'm going to choose that.
Okay, that's a good one.
And bell rating, this one ended super strong and was kind of super weak in the middle, but damn, those last two matches, it saved it for me. I'm gonna give it 4 bells. Yeah.
So you and I are pretty close on our rating.
We're pretty close. Yeah. Shane, you're up next.
Honestly, you could take. I'm gonna agree with you guys earlier. Like you could either take the main event or the Gunther to Sammy, but I'm gonna go with the Gunther and Sammy match. just because of it's like just the fact that it took the reign of Gunther. Sammy's now had back-to-back years of big WrestleMania moments, if you want to think about it too, which is pretty awesome to say.
Yeah.
And I hate to jump on the bandwagon, but the Rock, like literally, this is the night I wish I had freaking surround sound theater. Like I had one back in the day, but this was the night I wish I had Dolby because, like even just through my shitty TV vault, speakers, you can feel that electric bolts coming from everywhere during that entrance. Like that was a fire.
Who's he think he is? Black Adam?
Not anymore. Hi-yo.
Well, and now for games, I was gonna take I was gonna take a Sega game, even though I never owned Sega. But no, I'm gonna have to go with WrestleMania Arcade. I had that game for N64. The graphics back then were pretty kill. Well, just because they were actually video recording the guys. Brett was spending hours taking the bumps. All those guys were taking the bumps for that game. It was not your traditional wrestling game, but if you were a fighting fan, like it was based off the Mortal Kombat, came from McLean. So it was based off the Mortal Kombat platform minus the finishers, the infamous finisher. So I'll have to go with that game. Stick with the WrestleMania theme.
All right.
What's your bell rating?
Oh, no, 4. I'll give it a 4 too. Yeah. No, I actually would say it wasn't
4.2.
Sure. Let's go to 4.25 just to screw things up a little.
4.25. All right. EVP Joe, wax poetic on your final thoughts.
I don't even think Jeff even says this anymore.
So we're gonna start off. My entrance is the same as you guys. It's The Rock. Like I love the framing of the flames, and you just see him walking up. That was like everything about The Rock and his entrance just screams.
That was his best entrance year to date. He's never had an entrance ever close to that. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And then match of the night. You guys have mentioned the two big ones, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give some love to the men's tag to the 6-pack ladder match.
Okay.
I was enjoyed by it. It was fun. Glad that our
Is it really your favorite?
No, I mean it's Gunther.
I had a feeling it wasn't.
I want to spread the love around. Like
okay, so you're telling us lies to spread the love around.
He's grading on a curve here.
Yeah. And that my throwback game is Tecmo Bowl because Bo Jackson was just a cheat code in that game.
Yes,
like you couldn't be stopped.
You couldn't stop Bo Jackson. You were a touchdown every time you used him. Yeah.
And I'm giving this 3.75. Like you said, like relatively strong opening and closing. The middle really bogged down for me. I was disappointed in Jimmy and Jay's match.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a 3.75.
And what does that make our average, Mr. Joe?
3.965.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That's not a too bad. Like it could have been better, but
keep that number because I'm curious to see what tomorrow night's score is going to be.
You know what? It looks like we're all in agreement. Jimmy and Jay was the biggest disappointer tonight.
Yeah.
We didn't call it, but we have to say,
it's been like a year in the making.
Yeah.
At least. Well,
a year in the making, you give us a 10-minute match. That's
if you even look back when that Hell in a Cell match happened between the one Uso versus Roman, and then the other Uso came in during that Hell in a Cell match, and then Roman had him in the chokehold, making him.
It was Jay who was getting choked out. Jimmy was the injured one.
I just want to give you my thoughts really quickly on this. I think that under Vince, this would have been a 10-minute match.
What do you think it would have
given them more?
Or it would have been a 5-minute match.
No. I think
it's so would have ran in right away.
No, like for all the shit that Vince has done,
I mean, to be
good.
Fair,
he's good at finishing off a good feud.
I don't know. I don't think he would have broke up the bloodline already if Vince was still in charge. I think Jimmy and Jay would still both be bloodline.
And tag
I'm saying if Vince was booking this match. I'm just saying that. If he was booking this match, I think he would have booked it better.
I agree with that because I think he would have booked it more like a violent grudge match. Which is
he would have booked it more like Gunther and Sammy. It should have been like Gunther and Sammy match for sure.
It should have, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as
Absolutely.
shitty as Vince is, he would have booked it better.
Yes, sir. Mr. Dry, I will hand it over to you. Where do you want to go with this now?
All right. I think we'll close her down. Of course, join us not only in the morning, afternoon for you in the East Coast, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's 10:30 Pacific for you people like me and Shane on the West Coast.
Specific time.
Specific time.
Yeah, specific. Yeah.
It's specifically Pacific.
Yes. So we'll have the All Up and Wrestle show, and we're doing our prediction show. I'm not sure, Gary, Joseph, are you coming on the show?
Yes, I will be there.
You'll be in the morning, all right. And we'll be doing a prediction show for WrestleMania Night 2. And then, of course, we'll be back again here tomorrow night for WrestleMania Night 2 with JFB as the host.
What a marathon this weekend, boys.
I'm tagging out the JFB for tomorrow evening.
Shane, you're welcome to come back again tomorrow night.
Hey, the closer will be there.
All right.
Hell yeah.
You're the closer. Yeah.
Like, it's been an especially long weekend for me because I went to Super Card of Honor last night.
Dude, that's awesome. You're so lucky to be there.
I didn't
tell
get
us
home
about
until
that.
1:30 this morning.
Tell us what your experience was like with that.
Yeah,
before we
I
leave.
want to know what your favorite match of the night of Super Card of Honor was.
My favorite match at Super Card of Honor was the main event. It was Mark Briscoe winning the title. Especially because, like I said, I don't know what everyone saw on Honor Club, but after the match, like all the OG ROH guys came out, regardless of heel, face, came out, showed their respect to Mark, like
That's
lifted
awesome.
him up on his shoulders. They had
Yeah, it was a
Dave
cool moment.
Briscoe's green title belt, gave it to one of the kids.
Hmm.
Like, it was a very heartfelt and emotional moment. It was great.
Now let me ask you this: what Leonard Skinner song did he come out to?
Give me back my bullets.
Bullets.
Yeah.
Their
Okay.
original OG song.
Okay, I didn't know they'd ever use Leonard Skinner. I just read that they came out to a Leonard Skinner song, and I was like, "What song did they come out to?"
My favorite moment for that Ring of Honor show was the Billy Starks match.
Oh, let me
Just
tell
the
you,
faked injury to get the. It was so cool.
Kentucky
There
Girl
was-
represent.
there was some people around me who got worked hard. They were like, "What is this? There's no way this match can end like this." I'm like, come on, guys.
As soon as you saw the referee talking to Queen Aminata,
Yeah.
like
Joe is
going
like,
at her in the corner.
Joe turns around and goes, "Quit being fucking marks, you idiots."
I didn't say anything.
Like, honestly, I love Billy Starr. I'm not saying in a perv way. I honestly, she's got the spunkiness, there's cuteness to her. She's fun. She's fun to watch. Even at a young age, her personality right now is really shining. Like, she's great. She's gonna be a great future.
She's
Oh, for
18
sure.
years old.
I know. That's why I say
Yeah,
I feel dirty to say this kind of things because she's 21 years younger than me, for God's sakes.
Same.
God darn golly.
But yeah, but like overall, like I had a fun time. Like, my only major complaint is that 6 women Stardom match. Like, I don't watch Stardom, so it's very hard to keep track. Like, I would prefer if the two teams had at least similar colors, so I know who was on whose team.
Right.
Like, that was the hardest. I'm like that, and I don't know if it's Stardom, if it's commonplace for like 4 out of the 6 women to just hold each other outside of the ring because that's all they did.
All right, so we want to wrap her up here. Shane, how about you give the Just Keep Fighting speech? Are you ready for your first Just Keep Fighting speech?
All right, well, put me on the spot, but hey,
All right,
you know
so
what?
I'll say.
I got it.
All right, so I'll say the goodbye from on behalf of everyone, and then you can give the Just Keep Fighting speech.
Okay.
All right. On behalf of the F and Expert, on behalf of EBJ Joe, I'm Canada Dry. He's Shane Ly. Here you go.
Just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
All right, so I got a really good recipe. So you get the noodles. You get them all cooked up, right? You throw them in the bowl. You open that can of spaghetti sauce. You throw it in there. You cut up some weenies. Bam. Chef's kiss.
Weenie spaghetti.
Weenie spaghetti.
All right.